So dear One.fm artists, we're going to show you now how to sell your music to iTunes and Spotify, and also how to produce or how to make your music available as a CD. All you have to do basically is to click this blue Sell Music button, and this brings you to a place where you can actually add your metadata information, artwork, and label information. So I'm going to lead you through this process so that you see how it actually works. So first of all, we will just start and add our cover for the download stores, and please make sure that it has like the 2400 pixels here and that it's a JPEG, because there are some requirements regarding quality on download stores, and so we have to make sure that it meets the expectations. Otherwise your music will not make it through to iTunes. So we just click here, or we could also drag and drop the artwork here. So we just start, and we'll just select our artwork here. Up. So now we just upload it. So for instance, now we just add the title, which is like test album, and then we can add the main artist. So this could be either an artist that is already known to the system, for instance this one, or if it's a new one, we will just take a random name like Max Meyer, which is common in Austria. It says add Max Meyer. Here we'll just add the first name, last name, then year of birth, and obviously year of death might seem to be a bit strange, but it is an important information which is required in order to know if if we need to pay money to collecting societies due to copyrights. So obviously some of you will know that some artists or some composers especially that are dead for more than 70 years, their music is right free. So this is why this field is required. Obviously if the person is still alive, which we always hope, we just leave it blank. So you just add the country of the main activity. That's for promotion. That's relevant for promotion aspects. And then we just add the email address. So just create this artist, and we have it here. So artwork copyrights actually means, or this is who created the artwork. So probably it was his brother Matthias. So here now we have I own or I'm part of a record label. This basically indicates, so if you don't have a label, the system will give you an ERC code, and it will give you an EIN code, which is required to be able to sell your music online. If not, all you need to do is, if you have one, you just, or if you operate with a label, but just click this checkbox, and then you can just select, or you can just say, oh, that's my label, for instance. This is my EIN code, whatsoever. Then the production rights obviously should be, further information. And then you have a product number, which could be 1 point or holophone 1. So this information, you have to add it if you own a record label or if you're part of a record label. In case you are, you will know what these things mean. If not, just uncheck this box and leave these boxes. So then we have a release date, which is probably 28th of November. That's the sales start date. That's the date when your music will be sold. Please make sure that you have your music online 4 to 6 weeks before, just to make sure that it is actually available in the store at that date. Here you have another indicator for the download stores, so that basically goes to if your fans online on download stores can review your music before, and that's like, say, they can pre-order your music, so that's that. And here you just add the language of the album. So if it's German, it's, well, obviously if the whole artwork is German, you should probably take German. So that's that. Here you have a checkbox which is about physical release, so explicit lyrics. You check this if obviously your music contains includes strong words, which probably is not the best thing to where you don't want children to listen to that, like bad strong words. And here you have physical release, which means if the CD is also, if the music is also published on a CD and it's on the market. If not, just leave it blank. If your music is does not include any swearing words, just keep this unchecked as well. Here you just add a description, which is great song, recorded in Vienna. You can actually add any information you want. So in between, we would advise you to save it here so that your draft is saved, and you can also continue later and have a break in between. And so this is on the catalog here. So if you want to go back and continue editing, you just say continue editing, and you're back on this page where you can do that. And so, for instance, you can just add a track here. Just click into this field where you can just upload your music. Just take that track here. Should be a WAV file or a FLAC file, because obviously MP3 is not good enough to deliver to download stores, or not to all of them, obviously. So you can say test track is the name of the track. Here's the version. It could be like DJ Wild remix, any kind of, or radio edit. That's actually explaining to you. This is actually going to be displayed on download stores, and telling your fans that this is a special version of a certain track. Here again, you just add the language, which could be English. Obviously here, this ESRC code is a field that you cannot fill in. You can't fill in this information because you don't own a record or run a record label. This goes back to this checkbox here. If you have it, you will know what an ESRC code is, and you will have one. And if not, please keep it unchecked and ignore that field. Then you just decide it's like maybe hip hop, but also contains a little pop. You can add this. Here, sample start means at what moment do you want your music to start. So at the samples on iTunes or any other download stores. So this is around 30 seconds from the beginning of your track. So if you want 90 seconds from 30 seconds after the start of your track, then you just enter 30 here. Here this field is about, it's quite important. Rights free means the composer is dead since more than 70 years, or what it also does is it doesn't have a composer, traditional songs probably, or it was not, or it's just royalty free. So please make sure to not give wrong information here, because copyrights is a serious issue, and we always urge people to be very careful about that. Then here we have the copyrights. That could be could be a composer, for instance. Let's say this composer here. That's the composer name. She holds the copyrights. The production rights, obviously, also you can't give this information because you're not publishing under your own label, but publishing with OnePoint.fm. Also, that field goes back to this little checkbox there. And well, then you have a recording place and the recording year, probably. This is a number that you can get from a collecting society if you register your track. So if you have that, please add it. If not, just leave it empty. So in here, the first artist should be the main artist, and it's always going to be an interpreter, not a composer. So for instance, Max Meyer, the guy that we just added, is our interpret, and he is actually, for instance, performing a track from Beethoven, and Beethoven is our composer. We can continue adding composers. Let's say they had a cooperation, Verdi and Beethoven, then you just have these two composers there, and you can add other interprets, and so this is the way you can go on. So if you then have a couple of tracks, you can also choose to add artwork for CD. The exact specifications are here. You can download them for different systems. You can also get in touch with us using our contact formula here if you want us to help you with that, because that's obviously a designer task. And what it will do if you upload this with at least 8 to 10 tracks, it will automatically produce a CD if one of your fans is going to order one. So once you're done, you will just click the button here and just publish, and well, then you have, I think, another 24 hours left in order to make changes, and then this the music will be processed. Your music will be processed to iTunes and Spotify, and will be ready to be available to your fans throughout the world. So thank you for listening, and I know this is we know that this is a bit complicated here, but once again, as it's about copyrights and download stores that require certain information, it's just necessary to go through this process once, but once it's done, it's there, it's online, and people can have you listen to your music and download your music and stream your music throughout the world. So we think it's worth it. And please, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to be in touch with us. We're here for you, and you can use our contact formula here, and just let us know if you need some further assistance or about things that you don't like that much. We always seek to improve our service, and yeah, thank you for listening to this, and we are here and waiting to hear from you. Thank you.